SEO this week, everyone. Welcome to another episode of SEO this week. Thank you for joining me. Talk about keyword cannibalization, AI, new thing that Google is launching, and a whole lot more. So let's get into it.
Did you know a press release alone isn't enough? Visibility is key. You need a multi-platform strategy to share your story across news, audio, video, and social media. Welcome to Magic PR, where your press release transforms into a powerful media experience, maximizing exposure and engagement. We distribute your release to top outlets like Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, Business Insider, and more. Plus, your release is SEO optimized, ensuring better search rankings. But we don't stop there. We turn your press release into a podcast, distributing it across 25 platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Then, we create a social media content for Facebook, X, and Instagram, and even transform your story into a video press release for YouTube and top media sites. Video drives over 80% of higher engagement, and short-form content is king. We make viral videos for your YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and more. At Magic PR, we don't just publish, we amplify. Get your press release seen, heard, and shared everywhere. Visit magicpr.com today and take your brand to the next level. Back to you, Clint.
All right. So, in regards to AI, Google's updated their documentation, and the main thing that what they're saying is if you don't want to be in their AI mode, you don't want to participate in their AI overviews, that you have to use no snippet on those pages that you don't want to have it show up. The problem with that is that if you use no snippet, you also say, hey, I don't want to use meta descriptions. Don't use any of my content. If I have videos, don't use that. Don't use image thumbnails, if that, or etc. Or video thumbnails. You essentially have a title tag inside of the search results, which is not ideal for CTR. So it's either go title tag and no context with that title tag in the search results, or let them have all free access to your content. That's your only two choices regarding this. They'll argue, hey, we have a way for you to opt out, but obviously that way is not ideal by any means of the imagination. The other thing you can do is do data no snippet, and you can try that, and then you put an HTML attribute around your best content. But I don't honestly see the point of doing that, and it's more of a hassle when you think about it. Like, what are you going to do? You just put no snippet around. I guess you could do it to get around the meta description issue, because then your meta description will be available to them, but I haven't tested that to see if they'll actually honor that. Like if you have your entire body section set to no snippet, then will they still read your meta description and use your assigned meta description? That's a good question. Something that definitely needs to be tested, but there's the new updated documentation for you. Next is this AI mode. What the hell is it? What is AI mode? The short version is, and I don't have access to it yet, so I can't show it to you live. I just kind of show you this little graphic. Is you can get this AI mode thing that'll pop up once it's activated for your account, and then you can start asking it questions, and it's supposedly going to run around and help you. Think like Bing was part of OpenAI for a while. Now they're doing that with Google. The images that we see here are insightful in regards to publishers. Like you get some more links, etc. So that could be useful to you if they actually send traffic to your website. But again, I haven't seen this out in the wild, so I don't know if it is going to be useful or not for anyone. So we will see. What was this one? Oh, yeah. Publishers' concerns. How do you quell legitimate concerns for web publishers that you are scraping their content and removing the incentive for users to click over their sites? And Google's response was, We're focused on how we make it easy to click to sites. We have a lot more UI updates coming that we showed in our announcement post. That we showed in our announcement post. It's something we hear from users they want and core to how we're building AI mode. Also, AI mode is going to respond to new types of questions, let people ask follow-ups to explore different facets and ultimately create new opportunities for sites to rank. So the thought is that, I guess the implication in that statement is that they're going to do citations. And then as you continue the conversation in AI mode, they'll do more and more citations. History shows that, yeah, they do citations, but it's like also related sites, or their citations and the AI overviews themselves are really half-ass, just like little link icons and etc. So they're going to say, hey, look, we created the opportunity for you to come here, but they're going to make it damn near impossible for you to, or they're going to make it so that users are very unlikely to click the cited sources where they're getting this content and feeding it to users inside AI mode. That's what they did with AI overviews, and I fully expect that's probably what's going to happen with AI mode, but we'll see. I wanted to show this because it's you know what? Hold on. You guys can see this in the wild. There. I need to leave those open because I haven't been giving you guys the URLs for this stuff, so I need to do that. So this is she's a YouTuber. Not a whole lot of subscribers, but very interesting GPT she created. It's a keyword research GPT and a SEO content GPT. I'm not a user of them, but I will say that her keyword research helper, the search volume on a couple of the test cases that I did was right on in accordance with what Keywords Everywhere was. So I don't know if she's getting that data or if via another API source or there was some update inside of ChatGPT. But either way, when I bounced her keyword research helper off of the search volumes, they were right on with Keywords Everywhere. So take that as for what it is. I think it's just another opportunity if you're using something like ZimWriter or whatever, and you want to create an H1s and H2s for ZimWriter. The SEO content assistant is a really helpful thing. And then the personalized content with AI, I think that's really her selling her service. I didn't see a third GPT to do that, although I wouldn't use it anyway. I have my own custom prompts for that. Solving keyword cannibalization using n-grams. So if you don't know what n-grams are, there's there's a single word. This is an n-gram. Then this could be an n-gram. And this is an n-gram. And this is an n-gram. And generally they stop at 4 in linguistics. So n-grams are a carryover from linguistics and trying to understand the meaning of phrases, words, paragraphs, sentences, etc. You use n-grams, put those together, and that's how you shape the meaning of what a piece of content is about. Well, they're using, or Ellie here, brand new, I've never seen her around before, but she is using Screaming Frog. Obviously, she's a SEO manager for Screaming Frog. She's using Screaming Frog to take and analyze for n-grams and then optimize or de-optimize cannibalizing pages. This is a really good use case for this. So let me zoom in here a little bit. This post goes through and shows you how to do it and things you got to turn on and what you don't. You do this in list mode. So basically, like you have 2 pages ranking for, Phoenix SEO, for example. You put both of those in here, and then you look at the n-gram phrases that show up, and you'll see that like campaign here and is here. It's on both of the pages, and then but one you're using 7 while one is using 6. You find the real common and relevant ones for you and de-optimize one of those pages, ideally the one that's not converting, and then link that de-optimized page to your new freshly optimized page. And then that's how you handle keyword cannibalization without totally deleting and redirecting content, which I think is a bad idea. When you can just reuse that other content for like terms, etc., that maybe the original or the main page isn't ranking for. So really cool feature. Check that out inside of Screaming Frog. Another way to see ngrams is this free Chrome extension, the ngram by GoFish. I'll open this up in a new tab so you guys can see what you're looking for, and it'll highlight the ngrams for you. That's really it's just a faster, I don't necessarily say faster, but you can see the top ngrams and maybe just go in and see what you're missing if you're trying to rank for pages, etc. So I would check out that extension. Pretty cool. And ngrams is a really good way to, it's like TF, IDF. Think of it that in that manner. And Neuron Writer, if you're using Neuron Writer, they do ngrams. Yes, they have entities, but they also do ngram strings. And this is a good way to, just if you're doing like an audit and you want to do like a video like this, for example, you can take note of these ngrams, which ones the competition's using versus which one that your target audience is using, not your target, your prospect is using, and then create the narrative like that, combining that with the Screaming Frog ngram solution to provide a couple really good, hey, fix this and add this, remove this, and you could win. That'd be a good thing. Also, you could do that with your competition instead of putting your websites in this listing. I'll show you what the hell I'm talking about. List mode right here, and then you give it the list right here. You could put the top 10 of the search results in there, and it'll go and collect the ngrams for those, and you can see which ones you're missing out on, which one you're losing. Think of that as the poor man's TF IDF. The website auditor from SEO Power Suite does the same thing, but I mean, you could technically, this is actually a little bit cheaper than that tool, but I like the website auditor, so I'm not getting rid of both. Next, CTR Stats. We talked about these types of posts before, like where's the data coming from? And there's always some differentiation. Excuse me, sore throat today. Anyway, there's always some differentiation, but these are still interesting to read, and you can cite these as sources and create your own content pieces out of them, infographics or even mailers or postcards, etc. So what I like to point out is this is probably one of the few, I think I shared one last week, but there's another one, but this one goes into different niches, top level markets, careers, shopping, family, parenting, education, and government, and shows where CTR is up and where it's down. Government, law, and politics all rolled into one. I think it's very interesting that those are up 6%, almost 7% up in mobile, and almost 8%, well, over 7% in desktop. I say that's interesting because those are one of the first few places that I saw AI overviews from Google when I was logged into Google. So it could be, this is just pure speculation, it could be that users just over having generative AI collate all this content and just kind of go to get an answer, and then they've done research after research after research and seen that it's not working very good. On the flip side of that, there are some click-through rates that are down, hobbies and interest. I would probably argue that the product listing carousel is actually doing a lot better job for Google than the organic rankings. Society combined decrease. I don't even care about that market. Fashion is actually up. Automotive industry is in a decline. My guess is carousels are doing better for that. And then these guys don't monitor those positions as carousels. That's just a guess. I don't have their data available. There is some methodology stuff in here, but it's very vague. Then you can see in an overview all of this information. If you have a table downloader plugin, take some of this and turn it into a cool guy infographic. And then you have some new unique information. And, just be cool and cite these guys because it is their data and you should be good to go. Yeah, do what they did here, break some of that stuff up. So that's a good article to read. 5 reasons why you should count search queries. This is what they're counting is the number of queries total that you're ranking for. And you can just kind of figure out what's going on. Your clicks are up, your queries are up, your clicks are down, queries are the same, your clicks are up, that kind of thing. It makes it a little bit more realistic, especially like, let's say you're trying to rank for personal injury attorney Dallas, and your client, you see in your rank trackers, personal injury Dallas is 30. You go into a search console and it's 1, and then you use your rank tracker and mess around with localization and stuff, and you start seeing the variations in it. That's why you want to keep an eye on these queries. Secondly, Google tests you all the time. You have a personal injury attorney Dallas page, and they'll test you for 50 to 100 different related queries or even entity related queries, like car accident attorney, truck accident. They'll throw your page in there and see how it does. And if you're monitoring the ups and downs of the queries, you can see the patterns of when they're testing and when they're not. Words that were successful and words that were not, words that have high impressions versus words that did not. And you can add to your content or to remove from your content or create all new piece of content to analyze those queries. So this is a good thing to get into. I check out this SEO Gets. It's essentially, I think the easiest way to describe SEO Gets from my experience with it is a paid Looker Studio report. So if you are going to go down this rabbit hole, you can use Looker Studio or Tableau or Power BI or whatever, or this one if you want to analyze your Search Console data. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they put some tracking stuff in there where you can see what disappeared and what left, but I don't know if that's in there or not. But I have a couple Looker Studio reports that do that. And you just got to find someone who's selling them or someone who's made some. And they'll have plenty of data for you without paying this recurring price. So there's that. This is the White Spark people. They made this freshness distance calculator. It's actually kind of interesting, and we'll just say best laptops 2025. You press calculate, goes on and does its thing. I looked at the code. It's just doing a search and then looking at HTML and seeing the dates, the update dates, and then it'll put them right here for you. So rank, the date that it was published, and then the last update date, and then the list. And you can see in this particular keyword, freshness does kind of matter, but also the Reddit love here and some authority in YouTube and some more. Yeah, YouTube primarily. So if you're going after this one, you'd have to have a fresh, and you had a really good domain that can beat these, which is probably unlikely. Then just make a YouTube video. That would be how I would adjust that one. But you can go in here, the first day I did it, I mean, like I did this one, it didn't necessarily work. Let's go. Who is the best Phoenix SEO? And when I did this type of query in here, it crashed. So if that happens for you, just, anticipate it. You're not alone. But it is a free thing. So it's pretty cool, I guess. He used AI to draft a page to make the page. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. To make this whole thing, the code is pretty cool if you go in and look at it. I want to see the page source. No, it's not going to let me because it's in. There you go. View page source. Nope. Go to the home with no query in there, and then do view page source. You can see the code and how it's queried out, and etc. So that's pretty good. These have changed every time that I did it, so it's clearly not localized. It's just doing random searches, so don't expect this to match your actual search results anytime soon. You see some updates and stuff going on here, etc. So yeah, but these don't match the local. The actual, if you're in Phoenix, they don't match that even close. Martin Split warns against doing 404s to a homepage, and so do I. Like, what's going on is if you buy, there was a big period of time where people were buying expired domains and then redirecting them to their homepages. They're just doing domain to the homepage, just kind of doing it default. If you do redirects at the registrar level, it's typically what I do. That's a redirect to the homepage. And the argument against those is that they're bad for you, they're bad for crawling, etc. Google doesn't like them. Oh, don't do them. Well, the counter argument is that Google is, because so many people are talking about it, so many people are promoting doing it. Google created a system that if you redirect a domain to another domain, all the old domains, links, URLs resolve to the home page, you'll get soft 404 errors. And it's kind of like, hey, clown, we know what you're doing. I don't know if they punished it, but they do fill up your search console with soft 404 errors. So just be aware of that. And that they're doing it. So you don't really necessarily want to do a full domain to another domain without setting up individual 301s. And how I do that is I'll do the 301. I'll get four, and I'll use SEO Power Suite, and it's got a 404 error monitor. And I'll watch for the redirects from the old domain to the new domain. And then the ones that are getting traffic and that show up in that error log, I'll actually redirect them to other articles on the website. You can do that preemptively too. I'm just lazy. And so you'll have some soft 404s for a little bit. Probably not a lot, because if it was a really good site, you would have rebuilt it or turned it into something else. But you have to deal with that every once in a while. So just be aware of that. Google is aware, and if you see soft 404s, it's just kind of them saying, hey, we know what you're doing here. Data science agent in the Colab. I really just kind of showed this to, put off my inner nerd. I don't have a big inner nerd, but I do have an inner nerd. And there's a Colab inside of here where you can just you open this blank Colab notebook, upload your data file, and then say what kind of analysis you want to do. And then it'll sit back and do everything and then come out with the visualizations for your data. So what could data that be? I would, for instance, you could take, where the hell is it? Yeah, you could take this data copy paste it into a spreadsheet and say, show me the trends over the quarter, or whatever, right? And get a better visualization. For this, really, data science is about the visualizations, taking the data and converting it into something that you can present it so you can make decisions based off of it. But the Colab here is using AI and doing that all for you and then spitting out the results for you that you can take and do cool guy stuff with. So check it out. It's really, you're only going to find some uses if you have some data, or you pull some data off the internet and you want to design a new thing or whatever. This will help you kind of get there and help you see what's going on with it. Evolving your plan. See all the outputs and stuff. So pretty cool. Site reputation abuse policy manual, next steps. So Glenn Gabe did an article on what he would do, and the short version is that Google essentially wants you to no index the content on the old domain. You can put that same content on the new domain, and then you delete the content on the old domain, and you no index the content on the new domain. So I think what was it, Forbes? I think they're the ones that did it. If it wasn't Forbes, it was Business Insider. I don't remember. But one of the sites that knew they were going to get hit with this actually deleted. It was the Forbes. They took all of their personal finance stuff and put it on a new subdomain, and then essentially just wiped out their other the other subdomain that they knew or the subdirectory they knew was going to get hit. It's like they got a heads up. So they did that, and essentially that's what Google's telling you to do. And then if you are using your site reputation, you should set the stuff to no index, which is kind of gay. I mean, it's good in the interest of fairness. Like I'm okay if you've got a DA 99 website and you're talking about small business and you rank for everything small business under the sun and best pens for small business in 2012, best computers. I get it, but when you allow other people to leverage your website and go after you're a small business site and you have the best cars for moms, for mommy bloggers kind of posts and that kind of crap, then something needs to be done about that, right? So I'm kind of for and against this, site reputation abuse. I mean, if I had a site that was killing it, I'd probably be site reputation abusing it. Like everything I post is gold. Why not post? Why not do more? Make some more money off of it. That's what we're all here. We don't make websites just, unless you're a hobbyist and you just love this shit, you're not going to make a website for free and expect no return out of it whatsoever. Could be your online journal. Okay, you might do it. But in this case, Forbes, they're going to, if they can do it, they're going to do it. So the reputation abuse policy is essentially giving you some rules to go and fix it from a manual. If you have a manual action, this is how you fix it. This is the steps you need to take. Then you send a search or a reconsideration request. Hey, these are steps you outlined inside of your guidelines. Here's what I did. Here's my old paid URLs. These are all dead now. Here's the new URLs. The no index is applied. Can you lift my manual penalty on my domain? And then see if the answer is yes. So that's how you do that. This is a cool guy super nerd study. Essentially what they did is, let me scroll here. They looked at the different models and said, hey, these are some of the things that these models say all the time, like a lot. And then that's how they there's a way, like to put it in layman's terms, you can use that information to say, hey, this is written by AI or this was not written by AI. You kind of figure that out. Like ChatGPT, like, explore the great new world, right? Explore the 50 ways to do SEO. Explore the uncover, those kind of words. When you read it, you just pop it out. And that's essentially what these guys did and did it into a study. The reason I really wanted to show this, and you guys can see the study, and here's the HARPA version, just text transformation, show that distinctness is largely encoded in word distributions, blah, blah, blah. It's all super nerd shit. You can use, what the hell's the name of the stupid thing? Haro. There you go. You can use Haro and simplify it for you and it'll do more. Why do you want to do this? Well, the reason I found this study is because someone was running around saying, these are the footprints of AI, and these are how you find the footprints, and then you can humanize your content. And that's 100% not what the fuck this thing is about, right? It's just saying, hey, this is some formatting that these AIs lean into, and then the common sense application is, all right, so I have to understand that that's there, that formatting trend is there, and I should edit it and then all of them are the same. They're not footprints, they're not signatures, they're not secret squirrel, like they're presented as some kind of watermark almost. They're just how these AIs happen to write. And if you understand, you're going to use them, you're going to use them to publish content, then understand that you're going to look for that stuff inside of your editing. Okay, so that's all of those. I'll put all the links. I got the SEO This Week website. I need to get up on that. I'm going to send you to that in the description. Don't jump on me about design and all that shit. I just have not had time to clean that website up. So it's still got the newspaper theme. It looks honky, crappy, but all the links for the stories will be in there. Okay. All right. The next part of the show will be next. Well, obviously, duh. Next part of the show will be next. Word try here. We're going to do questions. SEO questions. So let's get on to it. Need help with Listicle link building. So if you don't know what Listicle link building is, top 10 list, best agencies, best whatever resources for addiction treatment, top 10 things to look for when buying a car, all that. Those are listicles, right? And then Listicle link building is finding those lists that other people have published and then reaching out to them and saying, hey, can you add me to your list? Or, hey, I noticed you had this company on your list. I did some research. They have some bad reviews. We also did. We have some good reviews. Can you take a look at it and see if it's a better fit for your list? And the idea being that they're going to go, oh, yes, you are so much better. Let me delete them and link to you, or let me add to your list. And that those do work, but there's some caveats. One, if you do, you're going to do outreach and essentially going to beg, you're going to send 100, 200 of those emails and maybe 10, 15 people are going to reply to you, depending on the novelty of your email. If it's boring, if you're just like, hey, will you link to my list and your listicle, they're going to, and delete you. But if you have a little bit of personality and excitement, you can really, honestly, you will get some responses, whether they're pity or not. Generally, you end up with, if I ever do one of those, generally I'll get like 10 links out of 200, 250 emails that I send. It's not bad at all. It is painful though, because it takes forever to get really good links. The people that will link to you are just, they're having nothing burger websites. So you're essentially just buying, getting links off of everyday man sites. None of them are going to just on their own or in a collection. Those 10 aren't going to boost you into number one, but you have some natural link buildings. Not bad. The other way to do listicle link building is networking. So let's say you are an SEO agency and you know 50 other SEOs, one of them happens to work in each state, you can each create a listicle on everyone's website and highlight your partners in those states. But that kind of reciprocal linking setup actually takes a lot of time to do. And for the most part, there's plenty of people that'll sign up for it. There's very few people that'll actually do their part. So they're looking for the free link, hoping that they'll get away with it, and then they won't do their part. So you got to be careful with those. And then obviously just networking. Like if you're in Yuma, for example, and you're in a home services business and plumbers links to the list of top 10 businesses in Yuma for your home, and then the roofers and the plumbers and the electricians and the septic tank guy and the landscapers and the solar panel cleaning guys all get together and they all publish this top 10 list, and they just list each other, and then you have reciprocal linking set up in a listicle format. Totally, really cool. That's actually a really good way to get links, and it's damn near free. But the hard part is the networking. It's just finding all these people to do it and then providing the information to do it. And then finally, you just pay money. Like people are those going back to that outreach. You're probably going to get just as many, if not more, emails back in response to your outreach saying, sure, I'll do that, but you got to pay me. And I think that's totally acceptable. If you're working hard to publish a website and someone wants a link on your website, then why not get paid for it? Google gets paid for it. It's called, you ever heard of the Google AdWords program? Google AdSense program, Google Ad Choices program. They're publishers paying for exposure on websites. Sure, they do it in a different way than you adding to their listicle, for example. But I don't see a problem with it. And it's a good way to promote your content. If you're going to spend some money, obviously you're going to pick a website that actually has traffic, or if they have a listicle that has traffic. You're not going to pay money for just some random list that AI made and it doesn't have any traffic. So that's a good way to promote your brand and potentially get some eyeballs to your website at the same time. So think about it that way. You're not buying links, you're buying promotion, and you'll be able to sleep at night. Old domain, drawing visits from a new site, same domain options. The implication here is that this person that asked this question, he's saying that he redesigned a website. He had it hosted on one company, now he's hosted on another company, but Google's still showing the information to the old version in the search results, not the new version. And my assumption, because people just ask these weirdo questions without any specification, is that he is talking about in the search results. And that's actually quite normal. Google takes its sweet ass time updating titles and meta descriptions and the site links and all that stuff just at their leisure, especially whenever you change them. And just if you catch it on the right day. I mean, I changed the one for my Phoenix SEO page like months ago, and it's still the old one. It just happens. You just kind of deal with it. As long as you're still ranking and your new site is resolving properly when people click on the link in the search results, you're fine. Don't stress it too much. Just let Google do what Google does, and when Google gets around to it. Hreflang tag. This is really an Ahrefs issue. And if you look at his examples, he's got the website, there's no trailing slash. The URLs have a trailing slash. And then these are relative URL examples. They're not absolute URL examples. So if you have a plugin doing that, and then your canonical is using the absolute URL, auditing tools could be seeing those as different URLs. So if So that's the case here with Ahrefs. Could be the case. They had the absolute. If he has the absolute URL set as canonical, and then these are using relative URLs, or the canonical doesn't force trailing slash. In his examples that are forcing trailing slash in Hreflang, those two things could be different URLs, which could trigger error inside of the tool. So it's not necessarily a SEO thing. It's more of a formatting consistency thing, and but it's something you got to deal with if you're using a plugin. So have never used I think I've used the Polyang plugin before, but I never really had this issue in regard to Ahrefs audits, because when I was using the Polyang plugin, Ahrefs didn't have audits. They were just a backlinking company and not a SEMrush competitor. So that is what it is. But if you see this and you're seeing an error inside of Ahrefs, check the URL differences and make sure that those are all consistent with what you actually want to do. Because these could, if let's say you're not forcing trailing slash, and then Polyang is doing that, you're actually creating a whole nother page. So you have this page, and then you have this page, and then you have this page. So you got 3 URLs instead of just one. So it could be confusing from a technical SEO standpoint for the Googles. Sudden ranking for subdomain web app. This is an interesting question. So essentially, he's got a web application to promote his coffee company, and this application creates recipes. However, it's user-generated content based off of selection choice combinations, and when these recipes come up, so they're unique and different on this one page. And he's wanting to rank that app. So how would you do it? 2 ways. One, hidden content inside of the page, and do it for coffee recipe or coffee roasting instructions. Probably be the one I would use, or bold coffee. Then you can do bold, rich, and light, or whatever. Different versions in that piece of content, and then try to rank it, that one page, for those, because that would be really relevant traffic. If I want to know about the roasting and the, how to, in making it, that would be good. And then I can use my blog comments to support that. So essentially what you're doing is creating a single page website and trying to rank it. So you can put all that in hidden content, or you can put it all in a tab underneath your actual generator, which would be more politically correct. It'd be more white hat. So you put it in tabs, or you could put it in hidden content, or you can go the whole stealth SEO route and just serve the informational page to Google or the search engines, and then show the recipe page, which is essentially supported by the informational page, the web app part of it, to users. I wouldn't do that one, though. You can play with wordsmiths all you want in Search Console or with the guidelines, but if you get caught and a manual reviewer picks it and pings it out, I can guarantee you Google's not going to play because I said in here it's because I put in my guidelines that we're not trying to, what was it, the terminology, essentially lie to the users, mislead the users. We're not misleading the users, we're misleading the search engine, so ergo I must be okay, right? I don't think that argument's going to play too well if you get caught doing that whole stealth SEO thing, which is essentially cloaking what I described there. So I would do the hidden div thing or tabs. So it's not hidden content. You're just you're putting the content on your page, but you're doing it in tabs to reduce the likelihood of interaction and keep them focused to where they want to be, which is going to be your web app. And then find the best topic that you can break down as clearly as possible in your content to rank for the most keywords, because they're not going to Google won't you're dynamically generating that content, and Google won't trigger through and ad selections. Well, they could, I guess, depending on how you developed it, but it could get caught into a loop maybe. You could test that too, but I would just do the tabs thing at the bottom. I would start with the hidden div, see if any of that is going to help, and if it does help, create a tab section at the bottom where you put that content on there, which I think would be useful anyway for your market and probably potentially help with conversion. So, plus it's a good place to link out to your primary domain from your web app. So if you're selling coffee and you're talking about dark roast, and here's how many scoops of dark roast versus how much water you use, and we recommend these 2 flavors for this type of coffee, and then you link to your flavors. That would be awesome to do in your tabs as well. as well. So hopefully that helps. All right, I wanted to close out this show with a presentation. I don't know. Last Sunday, I believe it was Sunday, we lost a member of the SEO community. His name is James Slattery. I met James online. We talked over a lot over the course of a few years, generally on Facebook in the communities. Never really met him on person until I went to SEO at the beach when Brock Misner and Mike Merlino held that conference, and then I got to finally meet him in person. Since then, we've had several conversations, and we shared a common stressor in that, my wife Kimberly, as you all probably know by now, she's suffering from brain cancer, and James also had family members who were suffering from medical issues, and himself was suffering from medical issues. Well, apparently on Sunday, James decided that he's really had enough, and he committed suicide. And it's sad, and it's hard to not get emotional when you lose a friend at all, and then to lose it to something like suicide, it makes it even harder, because everyone around him, everyone in his space is going to be asking themselves, what could I have done to help him so that he wouldn't have made that choice? And it's inevitably something that everyone has to deal with. Veterans are dealing with it every day. 22 veterans a day are dying by suicide, taking their own life. And we have to remember them, but we also have to stop paying lip service to the idea that people are going to reach out to you and they need help. Because it's been my experience that people don't reach out to you when they need help. And you can, as someone who's going through it, whether you want to talk about it or not, and I say it, I mean, in our case, we're going through the health issues with Kim. Whether you want to talk about it or not, that's not the important part. The important part is that you took the time to ask, hey, how you doing? Do you need anything? And you've created the opportunity for them to reach out and say, I need help, or I need to talk to someone. And then at the end of that, the onus is on them on me. The onus was on James to accept that help. And I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and say that I understood 100% what he was going through, but I didn't, because I didn't know the full extent of his medical issues. And maybe there's a little bit of selfishness in that too, is because he was so open and caring about what was going on with me and what was going on with Kim, that, his stuff just got kind of put to the back seat. And I say that because that's, to me, the guy that James was. He was putting everyone else forward. Everyone in his life was more important than him. And ultimately, when it was time that he couldn't help people anymore, and it was just him, and then his challenges became too much, then he made a decision that was life altering, not only for him, but his family and his friends. So, but I want to honor him. I want to say that, yeah, I need James. I had the benefit of being touched by James. I had the benefit of learning from James. And I'm going to miss being able to just reach out to him and say hello or ask for help or bounce ideas off of. And I think we all are. And this whole community is going to be lesser one person, one actual nice person, which, I've met a lot of people in our community that pretend to be nice and just aren't. They're just human trash. And I've met a lot of people that are honestly, truly nice. They're business people. They want to be successful, and their path to being successful is helping people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it's very honorable to do it. So, with that, I have the recording from James from SEO Rockstars. You may or may not know, last SEO Rockstars, I got all the speakers, and James at the last minute was having some health issues. He didn't really disclose what it was, but he said that he couldn't come. So I asked him, in lieu, can you just do a recording of your presentation for us so that everyone gets the benefit of you and what you know. And I knew even with the recording, James was going to provide some awesome information. I saw him at SEO at the beach, and that was the one presentation the whole time at SEO at the beach that I walked away with. I was like, I'm implementing that shit. It was what James did. And so with that, in honor of my friend James Slattery, here's his SEO Rockstars presentation.
Hey SEO friends, James Slattery here to give you my 2024 Rockstars presentation, SEO Rockstars, Las Vegas. I apologize that I wasn't there to enjoy the time with you guys. Let's get into it. So our presentation today is about creative link building. So my background, I'm 30 years in IT, 32 actually. Super Software, my company that I started when I was sophomore in college, right? 25 years in SEO, James Slattery SEO, my SEO agency. Black hat and proud. SEO areas of knowledge include link building, automation, and SEO sales and prospecting. So my interest in link building started with the whole .net versus .com, and not because of a new top-level domain being introduced, but the way that some brands had their brand so strong that they could promote their .com by utilizing their .net because of legalities. And basically PokerStars.net was a big one. Others followed. WSOP was big, I believe, in this. But basically they promoted their .net, and people eventually went to their .com, the eventual site for gambling versus education. Pretty interesting. So some of the things that I do to build topically relevant links include using Text Builder AI, which is $295 on a lifetime deal. You get 300,000 credits. Each credit is a word. You can schedule bulk content with images and extra insets. You see one here. It's like a top 10 listicle type thing inside the article as an image. Pretty neat. It works really well, connects out to your self-hosted WordPress sites. It's a great way to build up a whole bunch of sites for a given keyword or topic. Next, Switchbox SEO, an interesting link building technique that not everybody knows about. Basically, you're linking to a TBA, so, to be announced. So basically, you're saying, I want to link out to a property, but I don't have the property yet. So I'm going to link out to Bitly, and later on, I'll change the link at Bitly. That's Switchbox SEO. It's great for growing, changing up things, testing, and, some people do, in my opinion, misuse it for fired clients. And basically, they have all of their links attached to a couple of properties. They, divert those properties traffic. Next thing, no more links. Basically, this one always struck me as interesting, and I never put it down into words. But basically, this is how I promote a bunch of my data recovery sites. Whereas I give out information for free on my data recovery sites on how to recover hard drives and flash drives and SSDs, etc. Basically, my audience for the how-to and DIY stuff is international. My clients are local. We literally visit clients in person. So that's the scope of where I can make money. Obviously, I could sell the training, etc., but it works out pretty well this way. So, international blog, local customers. Bait ads, the best guy with this is Matthew Woodward. He puts out an ad, give him your email address. He builds up an email list. He sends out to that email list frequently. It's a great process. I can't fault him for it, and it's excellent. All right. So there's an example of it. And he puts them out on Facebook usually. And basically it'll be a tool, a list, a PDF. Great idea. Link bait. So next we have directory websites. I like making directories. I do them with GravityKit or Local Directory Fortune. The Local Directory Fortune is really cool because it's just to configure the whole thing. It's a restore of a backup that they give you. It works out incredibly well. We also do the whole shortlisting thing with directory sites. So if someone comes in, they have two specialties, we'll usually list them under their second specialty so that they contact us so that we can have a marketing call, unscheduled marketing call inbound from the potential client or the prospect, and they'll likely say, oh, you know what, I do DWI and immigration, but I'm really big with DWI. Could you list me for that? Yeah, sure. By the way, who does your internet marketing? So the other thing is the header flip, and we go into that further in this presentation. So header flip, here it is. Basically two websites on one domain. So there could be a data recovery directory, and it could be an international directory of data recovery guys that I just grabbed up via scraping. And then the actual website could be for a local Pennsylvania-based Amish data recovery group called Hillbilly Hackers. So pretty neat. The cool thing, cool way to execute this is to actually change out the graphic for the header so that when you're on certain pages, you see the one on the left, and when you're on other pages, you see the one on the right. Good stuff. Works really well in Avada, Divi, Elementor. Probably works on others, but those are the ones that I've experience with as far as doing header flips. Next, exploit links. This is a Garen Green thing. Screaming Bird, you might want to talk to him about it. It's getting some real high-end links through an exploit with a piece of software. Basically, you plug in your links into a spreadsheet, and it gives you resulting links, and the resulting links are indexable and searchable and linkable. So pretty interesting. There's been a number of those. If you look at stuff like Black Hat World, you'll see more exploit links out there. Manipulated links, very popular now. Basically, send them out for CTR, for parasites, to YouTube, to GMB posts. Basically, manipulated links are links that have syntax at the end of them that say, something like, oh, they queried a keyword phrase. So it wouldn't just be visiting google.com, but also searching the keyword phrase. And basically, they're used on one end for tracking, but they can also be used to mimic engagement. Okay, next. Podcast links, ridiculous. Want to make a podcast? Notebook LM. Notebook LM can make the MP3 real simple. You can do other things with the MP3 to convert it to a PDF, docs, slides. Your input data, equals your output data. This is a real good process for making podcasts, in my opinion. So check it out and then get it onto Podbean or Podsprout, Buzzsprout. So spectacle links. These are the silly ones that everybody likes from me. Basically, Viggle or UDO or others, basically making the picture either funny looking or having audio that's a song, and basically making it so that it's, mini viral, amongst, office staff or family and friends, etc. This is another thing, link building wise, that I highly recommend that people do is make a chart of the tools that they have and what input does it take, what output does it, create, and where would you end up publishing it. You got some real strong ones here, Vid2Page and Notebook LM and Text Builder. Gotta check this type of thing out. And the more you do of this, repurposing and content is going to be real nice, and Google's going to like seeing that new repurposed content. Launch jacking, basically tracking the guys who are promoting offers on JVZoo and Warrior Plus. Basically, I put in the names of the products that they're promoting into stuff like Zero Work and have it do searches, and then just export the domains, and then I match up the popularity of the domains to see that, domains like DeviantArt, LinkedIn, Medium, PeerSpot, Quora, Reddit, Pinterest are all of the better domains for them to promote. And these guys, like I said, these guys routinely rank in hours, so they're worth watching. Next, Linkbait mobile app. You want to make a mobile app? This is the way to do it. Good Barber, $30 a month. It's real good. I really like this tool. Next, Linkbait game. So if you want to build a game, there's two ways to do it. Both are easy. Game Salad, pretty simple. BuildBox, even better. BuildBox is built by AI. So you literally say add a car on the racetrack and it puts a car. You want a red car, you say add a red car. Worthwhile, $120 a year BuildBox. Pretty neat. You're not going to make a world-class game, but maybe make something that's worthwhile enough Linkbait to get people to a page. Ebooks, Designer. This is a recommendation from Brian Cato. It's an ebook design tool for featuring WordSense. It's really good. It's really good at building long content. It's really good at formatting content, and the typography is really strong. I love this tool. Great recommendation from Brian. Ebook uses, sending it to PDF share directories. These are some of the top share directories for PDFs. Next, automation, using automation to build links. And the number of link targets that I find with automation is ridiculous. It's limited only to your imagination. You could be using Make. You could be using Make with Sheets inside Zero Work, whatever you want. Parasites, obviously, parasites are huge. There are other parts of this presentation. Top parasites include LinkedIn Pulse, Reddit, Perplexity pages. If you're doing anything with Reddit, I recommend that you check out Gummy Search for audience research, and then export comments for bulk posting of comments. As far as parasites in general, Vasco from Vetted has this list. I post the URL here on a short URL, but bunch of top end parasites. Next, when you're building links or coming up with a new link building method, remember your squad, and your squad includes QR codes, pixel drops, rotators. What the hell does this mean, James? It means when you're building links and you think you're onto something, see if you can add one of these things in there, because it might make it a whole lot more special. All right, next. As far as who I follow on link building, on YouTube, I follow Julian Goldie, Affiliate Credo, Jackie Chow, a bunch of others on the web. I follow, Warrior Plus, Legit, AppSumo, JV Zoo, and Black Hat World. There's others. Greg Morrison's another one that should definitely be included in there. Some of the stuff that he's been doing on link building, pretty wild. But basically, the long and short of it is build, don't buy. I hear about a lot of newcomers to the SEO field. I spent 20,000. I spent 30,000. I can't even fathom what they spent the money on, to tell you the truth. When you can buy the right tools and the right training to build these links yourself and build assets for your niche. I'm a big believer in niching down, so buying assets that can service all of your clients as opposed to one-off purchases. They're better investments. So I hope I brought you guys a great presentation, a lot of good ideas. I rushed through it, yes. I'm sure that you can go back through the slides and you can see things that you want to investigate further. I'm always available if you reach me out on Facebook. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.